Hello students, we are back again. This time we are there on the last unit, that is unit 4, web application and security. In this unit we will cover total number of 8 sessions. The very first session is working with accessibility options. Second session is networking fundamentals. Third session is instant messaging. Fourth session is publishing blogs, or we say weblogs. Fifth session is online transactions. Session 6 is internet security. Session 7 is workplace safety. And session 8 is accidents, emergencies and preventions. So total we have 8 sessions and we will cover all these 8 sessions in this video. So let's begin. So we will begin with the first session, and that is working with accessibility options. See, a number of persons are there who have some kinds of disabilities, who are not able to work as normally as we can work or we can do. So Windows 10 provides a number of features for all those kinds of persons who have some or the other problem, because of which they cannot work normally as we do. So not all, but some of the disabilities or impairments are there which only causes a particular person to have some problems in working on computer normally as we do. So we will first understand the types of impairments which impacts a person's usage on computer. So the very first impairment is mobility impairment. See, mobility impairment means the type of disability through which a person has particular problem in working on computer. Say for example, a person who uses wheelchair, certainly he will have problem in sitting under the computer table. And some persons with mobility impairment, they can have problem with keyboard and mouse, means they might have problem in their hand, in the mobility of their hand, and they may not be able to use mouse and keyboard as we do. So if a person has this kind of impairment, then we can certainly say that they have mobility impairment. The second kind of impairment is vision impairment. See, we have seen a number of persons using specs. Some have vision problem, they are not able to see farther objects or nearer objects. Some are not able to see very small letters. So if a person has these kinds of problem, then certainly they have vision impairments. Or if some persons are there who totally cannot see, means they are blind. So these persons have vision impairments. They may have some problem in distinguish between the colors. Certainly some persons are there who cannot distinguish between one color and other color, so they fall under the vision impairments. The third type of impairment is hearing impairment. This kind of impairment means either the person is not able to hear, or he listens very high volume, or he has the problem in listening. So he may find difficulty in listening. For him, the suitable thing will be the visual contents. The next type of impairment is speech impairment. These kind of persons, they have problem in speaking. So wherever there is a need to input the data through speech, they will certainly have problem. So certainly they will be requiring some tools and applications through which they can convert text into speech. And the last kind of disability is special learning disabilities. Some people have very different kind of disability. For example, some persons are there who are not able to write properly, means who do not have the ability to write properly. Their handwriting changes time to time, and it is not quite readable also. Some persons are there who are hypersensitive. uh, they simply get distracted through the background noise or sound. Some persons are there who cannot read very small text, or some persons are there who cannot focus on a bright screen. So these falls under specific learning disabilities. So these are some of the disabilities or impairments which a person may have and person have. So Windows 10 has a number of accessibility features which provides tools for these kinds of impairments and help the person to work as we work. So these tools help them to work not exactly like us, but these tools helps them to work on the computer what they really want to do. So we will discuss now some of the accessibility features uh, which really helps the person with all these kinds of disabilities. So the very first accessibility feature is for learning and literacy. In this accessibility features, what Windows 10 do is Windows 10 switch off all the animations, all the graphics which appears on the screen, which makes a user to focus and concentrate more on the text which appears on the screen. See all these graphics, bright images, background images, they simply distract some of the users, like users with specific learning disabilities. So what we can do is we can turn off all these animations and background images, and the user now can focus more on the content on which he is working. He will not be distracted with animations and graphics. So for that, what we can do is we can open settings. So click here, settings. The setting window will appear, and from that we will open ease of access. So we will see this ease of access here on your computer. It might be at here or here, anywhere else. So it's ease of access. Click on here. You can see a number of options gets displayed here. So what we need to do is, if we need to switch off all these background animations and images, we click on display. By default it is already selected, and come to this portion. This portion contains all the options. This is the basic option for closing all. See, show animations in Windows, show transparency in Windows, automatically hide scroll bars on Windows, okay? Show desktop background images. So what we need to do is, the person who has special kind of disability, he may switch off all these. When he switch off all these, the animations will be switched off, transparencies will be switched off, this scroll bar will not hide automatically, background images will be switched off. So he will be having lot more ease in focusing on the content, and these animations, the background will not distract him. So the next feature is for vision. If a person has problem with his vision, either he is completely blind or he can see very less, so for them a very useful tool is here. For that, we can come to narrator, click on it. All the options related to narrator comes up here, and we can see a button is here, on off button is here. As you switch it on, narrator will open, and what this narrator will do, this narrator will dictate out all the options and the text present on the screen. Whatever buttons are present, whatever options are present, whatever text are present on the screen, this narrator will dictate everything loud and clear. So person who have problem with disability, they may scroll the mouse over the screen, and wherever the mouse pointer goes, it will read it. So the person with vision problem can use this feature in order to make the text in audio format. All the content which are printed on the screen, the person can hear it, listen it. The next feature is for hearing impairments. Some persons are there who are not able to listen to low volumes. So for them, there is a tool through which they can increase the volume of the system, and that is, for that they have to come to audio. Click on audio, and here you can see the volume of system comes up. You can increase or decrease the volume, means you can adjust, the person can adjust the volume to that extent when he is able to hear the audio properly. The next tool is closed captions. It is present just below audio, closed caption. See, it is used to make the audio convert into text. If the person is listening a audio or he is watching a video and he is not able to listen properly, so he can uh, use closed caption to make the audio converted into text and printed on the screen. A number of options are here through which they can change the setting of the text, and the dialogues or the sound will be converted back into text and printed on the screen. The next accessibility feature is for those persons who have mobility problem, means they are not able to use their hand or arm properly. For them, a special tool is there, and the very first tool is keyboard. For those persons, we can come to keyboard, click on keyboard. We will be seeing a number of options appears here. We can say sticky keys is there, check, toggle key is there, filter key is there. So if we talk about sticky key, it is used for those persons who cannot press two keys at a single time. This sticky key will help the person to press both the keys at a single time. What it does is, as we switch this sticky key on, and if a person presses control key, alt key or any other key, that key remains on till the time the person presses the second key. Say for example, the person wants to press control A and he cannot press both the key with their hand, so he will switch on the sticky key, he will press control one time, the control remains on, and when he presses the other key, either A or any other key, then only that key will turn off, means now control A action will be completed. So he can use sticky key. The next key is toggle key. See, toggle key mainly refers to caps lock key, num lock key and scroll lock key. What it does is, as we turn off or on a toggle key, Windows 10 will create a tone, and that tone will make the person understand key now that key is active. Normally when we press a key, we do not hear a tone and we sometimes get confused whether that key is on or off. So when we switch on this toggle key, and when we press either caps lock key or arrow keys or num lock key, any of these key, a sound, a tone comes up. So this is the work of toggle key. And the next is filter key. This filter key enables the user to change the repetitive mode of any key from the keyboard. Like for example, if we keep on pressing a key, so that Windows 10 will ignore it. Repetitive pressing of the same key, that too will be ignored by Windows 10. So this is the work of filter key. So we can see that the person who cannot use keyboard properly, for them these tools can certainly help. The next thing is, if a person cannot use mouse properly, for them some options are there which he can do using mouse. So click on mouse, a number of options gets displayed. We can see, we can change the color of pointer, so we can make it this, or we can make it this, whichever color you want. And even we can change the size of cursor, means this pointer, so this becomes big, quite big, and we can make it small, this much. So this is how we can change the settings of mouse if a person has problem in using a mouse normally as we use. The next feature is speech. The next is text to speech, means the person who has speech impairment. So if a person who is not able to type properly through keyboard, what he can do is, he can use some tools through which he can convert his text into speech, and that we can do using speech option. Here is speech, click on it, and we can click on turn on speech recognition. If you turn it on, what this option will do is it will convert your speech into text. A number of places are there where person used to type, say for example he is there, he wants to message somebody, he needs to create something but he's not able to type properly, so he can use this option, he can switch it on, and now whenever he will speak, his words, spoken words, will be converted into text. So this is the work of speech option. So we can see a number of accessibility options are there which Windows 10 provide, which help the person with physical disabilities and to make them work lot more easier than before. Okay, so now we'll come to the next session, and that next session is networking fundamentals. This is quite a very simple topic which you might have studied, and you have studied in previous classes also, and you know all the features of networking and all the things of networking. This is just like a revision to all those topics. So as you all know that when a number of devices are connected to a computer, then that creates a network. In your home or in an office, if a computer is connected to a printer, a cell phone, and a number of more devices, then we can say a small network is created. The thing is, networks are of different types, and there are benefits of different types of networks. So if we discuss the benefit of network, we can certainly say that if a number of computers are connected together, then we can share certainly some of the resources, like we can share a printer, we can share a scanner, we can share a speaker, and a number of more things are there which we can share. So a single network has, suppose, a number of computers. All those computers now do not require individual components to work with. They can share the component like printer, scanner, other components. So that will certainly reduce the cost. And one more advantage is there, that sharing of files. A system has some file, you want that file in some other system, so you can easily transfer or you can share the files. So in this way we have a number of advantages of using networks. And we have different types of network also. You have studied these names, are quite very common name: LAN, MAN, WAN. LAN is local area network, MAN is metropolitan area network, WAN is wide area network. So when we talk about LAN, LAN is a small network which confines either in a room or in an office or in a building. It is mainly used to share the resources, like to share the hardwares like printers or hard drives, or even we can share programs. So LAN is a small network of computers which are confined either in a building or in a room, and the main work is for sharing the informations. The next type of network is MAN, metropolitan area network. So if we say MAN is a wider network than LAN. It covers or spreads over a city. The third type of network is the biggest type of network, that is called WAN. It is the largest type of network. It contains a number of LANs. It spreads across countries, and it is a, we can say it becomes a global network. Computer all around a number of LANs are connected together. The main motive of connecting all these computers together is to transfer the informations at a higher rate. So we can see three types of networks are there depending on the geographical area they cover. Smallest is LAN, bigger one is MAN, and the largest one is WAN, that is wide area network. There is another type of network, and those type of networks are being categorized on the basis of the role of the component, which component works in what way. So basically in this we have categorized in two different categories. The first category is client server network, and the second category is peer to peer network. Basically in the first, as the name only says, client server network, a number of computers will be there who will be working as clients, and one computer will be there which will be working as a server. So these components have a definite task. Some components will work like client and some component will work certainly like a server. The next type is peer to peer network architecture. See, it is a type of network in which the particular role of a computer is not defined at a particular time. Means there is nothing like client server model. At any time a computer may work as a client, and on the very next moment the same computer can act like a server. So it is a non-dedicated server model, means we do not have a dedicated server. All the computers are there, they all work like clients, and in those only some become server, some become client at different times. So basically depending on the work of computers, divisions are there. The very first one is client server network, where there is a client, dedicated clients are there, and a dedicated server is there. And in the second we can say peer to peer network, where computers are connected together, no dedicated server is there, the same computer works like client also, and the same may work as a server also. The next thing which comes up is internet. See, as you all know that it is a computer based worldwide network, or we can say that it is a small example of, not small but a very huge example of WAN, wide area network. This internet is composed of computers from different types of networks. It has millions of computer all around the world to share information among each other. Internet has made it now very easy for almost every person to share any kind of information and any type of information at any point in time very quickly across any place. People living at any places all over the world, they can share, they can communicate, and that thing is only possible because of internet. Internet provides a number of services, different types of services are there, which is provided by internet. And this internet has a number of components also, and these components also provides a number of services. So we will now see what are these components and what are the services which they provide. So the very first component we see is, and the most common component is, World Wide Web. See, World Wide Web was first introduced in 1989. See, World Wide Web is a group of programs. These group of program enables a user to transfer and to receive any kind of multimedia file like photographs, graphics, video, audio, combination of any kind of text. The person can transmit it and the person can receive also, and that goes to the contribution of World Wide Web. This www has only enabled us to use these all to transmit or to receive. It is graphical information. Just before World Wide Web, there was only text. People were able to use only the textual information, the information which were there in the form of text. But as this world wide web came, everything on the internet changed. It became a graphical, means all the types of informations now, those informations can be circulated quite easily. People have photograph, people have videos, people have some graphs, charts, now they can share all. It is because of worldwide web. See, a number of people are there. Most of the people, they think that internet and world wide web are same, which is not true. See, world wide web is a part of internet which is made up of websites which have a number of pages. But internet is not only world wide web. Internet has a number of more features also, like forums, usenet and other things. So if we say that both are same, it's not true. Internet consists of world wide web, but they both are not same. So the next thing is key, what are the components of internet? The very first component of internet we can say is at forum. See, it is a place where people can advise to other people and people can search for advices for their problems, means they can get solutions. The next is research database, which is used by universities and a number of companies. The next is usenet. It is a discussion group which is done on some specific subject or topic. Any person can have their discussions on any particular topic depending on their choice. Next is email and IM. IM means instant messaging. This is quite a common term. You all know what is email and what is instant messaging. And the last is telnet and gopher plus FTP, that is file transfer protocol. So these are the components of internet. And if we want to recall some of the terminology which we use in internet, and these terms are like client, server, web page, website, web portal, web browser, web client, URL, blog, blogger, blogging, newsgroup, email, email address. So these are some of the terms which you are hearing from many years before, from I guess class 3rd, 4th or 5th. So you all know what are these, and these are quite very common terms. So the next thing we will be discussing is, although we have you all have studied this before also, but just a recall, like internet connectivity options. So we have 3 different ways in which we can connect our device to internet. The very first method is through dial-up connection. The second is through broadband connection, and the third one is wireless connection. So if we talk about the very first one, that is dial-up connection. A dial-up connection is established through a telephone line. So a telephone line is required and a modem is required. So we require 2 things, and those 2 things are, we require a telephone line and we require a modem. So dial-up connection makes the internet available only till the time we are connected. As we disconnect, we loses internet. Now no longer we can lose our connection with ISP is lost, and we cannot use internet. That means if we need to use internet again, we need to dial up the connection again. The next type of connection is broadband connection. In broadband connection also we have a number of ways through which we get the broadband connection. The very first method through which we get the broadband connection is through cable modem. It uses the same line through which we get the cable TV. So we can get internet from the first medium if we need a broadband connection, that is through cable modem. The same modem will provide internet also, which provide us the cable TV. The problem with this is ki where this cable TV is not available at that place, we cannot access broadband connection through this medium. The second method through which we can get broadband connection is DSL, that is digital subscriber line. It uses your same phone line, but it do not interrupts your voice call. But there is a drawback of DSL, and that is as we move away from the provider, means as the line means the cable distance goes more, the internet speed goes down. The third method is through satellite. Through satellite also broadband internet is provided, but it is slower than DSL and cable TV. So we can see that three mediums are there through which we can access broadband internet, and these three have some advantages and they have some disadvantages. The third medium through which we can get internet is wireless connection. The very first is Wi-Fi. You all are very aware of Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi is quite a simple method to access internet. So wherever we see a hotspot, we can connect our devices which has Wi-Fi in it to the hotspot, and we can access over internet if that hotspot has an active internet connection. But make sure that when you connect your system which is Wi-Fi enabled to a hotspot, that hotspot should be known. Do not connect to a unknown hotspot. The next method through which wirelessly we can get internet is WiMAX. See, in WiMAX there is a tower. That tower is termed as WiMAX base station. This base station has a internet connection. It transmits the internet connection through microwave, means the user has to establish a connection through microwave. It do not relies on cables. It is a wireless medium and microwave is used. The end place means the place which requires to get the connection through WiMAX needs to connect their system using this microwave, and they can have a high speed internet connection wirelessly. Okay, now we will move on to the third session, and the third session is instant messaging. This is quite a term, a very general term which you all might be aware of. You all used to chat with your friends, with your relatives, using your cell phone or using your computer. What happens? You send a message and then you get the reply instantly. So chatting online is termed as instant messaging. So in instant messaging, what happens? We require a working internet connection. We require a application which is supports instant messaging. Chatting applications we require like Google Talk or Hangouts, Facebook Messenger, or like WhatsApp, or chatting feature of Instagram. What happens in this key, using internet connection we send a electronic message to a person. The message is received or goes to the person instantly, and if that person is available at that time he can reply. So this is what we term as, or what we call as instant messaging. The advantage of instant messaging is कि it is available all round the clock. Means 24 into 7 is available at any time from any place. We can text a message anybody. At present time, it is available on almost every platform. Either use iOS, I use Windows, I use Android. It is available on the all on the platforms. The next advantage is कि we can see all the messages which we have sent earlier to a person. It has unlimited storage of chat history. We can even create groups and we can send a message to a group, and all the persons who are there in the group will receive the same person. Even we can share multimedia files, like we can share audio, video, graphics, images. Even if we get a person from somebody, we can forward a message to somebody else also. And some more features are being added regularly to instant messaging and the applications which are responsible for that, like video calling or audio calling. These all are the features which are enabled now in instant messaging. A number of applications are there which is most commonly used, like WhatsApp, Instagram, Telegram, Skype, Facebook Messenger, Google Hangouts. All these are applications through which we can send and receive messages instantly. So here we will see just a small example of Google Hangouts. We will see how we can use Google Hangouts. Google Hangouts is a tool of Google through which we can send messages to our friends or relatives to whom we know. So for that, we need to open the browser and open Google Hangouts. So I'll click here. I have already searched Google Hangout and I have result here, Google Hangouts. Click. So this Google Hangout will open. So here my Google Hangout is open, and we have a part here. This part will contain the name of all the persons who you have added. So to whichever person you need to conversate, you need to click on it. Say for example, I have this, I'll click on this, a message box will appear. So this is the message box, and in this, like you chat on WhatsApp or Instagram, the same thing is there. You tap message here, press enter key, the message is sent to the recipient. So this is quite a simple method to communicate to a person to whom you know using Google Hangouts. The only thing you require is you require to sign into Google Hangout using your email ID, and then you can start chatting instantly. So there are some general rules, or we can say etiquettes for chatting also. The very first is we start with a short greeting. We have to keep the conversation very short. It is not a letter writing, so short conversation should be there, small messages through which the other person can understand what you want to say. We should use proper punctuation marks. Always avoid caps lock. Caps lock on capital letters is always refers to shouting. Be patient in getting the replies. Always focus on the status message. Say for example, if somebody's status is busy or he says not available, do not poke him or interrupt him by sending the messages. And every time you end the conversation with a short closing, like thank you or bye or take care. So this are the some etiquettes or the general rules which a person should follow. Basically some of the rules are there which a person follows, some rules are there which person do not follow, but depends from person to person, and it should be followed if a person wants to have a proper conversation with other person. The next session which we will begin is publishing blogs, or we say web blogs. See, basically, blogs are the website which is the shortened term for weblog. It is a personal journal on the internet. It is a person's opinion on the internet. The person who writes these opinions means the blog is termed as blogger, and the activity of the person means the activity of the blogger while he writes or he updates and creates a new blog is termed as blogging. So basically, blogging is a method through which a person expresses his feelings or emotions or his thoughts over a particular topic. So if a person has a thought and he wants to express to all globally, because blog is available to all, it is like a newspaper which everybody can read. It do not have restrictions or foundations that a certain majority of people can only read. It is an open document. So if a person has something to say or something to express to all, he can create a blog and he can express his thoughts to all the people. The thing is ki, depending on the types of activity means the thoughts a person has, there are different types of blog. Basically four types of blogs are there. The first one is personal blog, the second is news and views, the third is company blogs, and the fourth is micro blog. So if we see personal blog, it is the most common type of blog. It is a opinion of a person. It is the most common type of blog, and maximum number of users are there from this category, that is personal blog. In this personal blog, people express their views, their opinion, their thoughts on a particular topic. The next type of blog is news and views. It certainly contains the same type of information which it says. It contains the news, means the facts, the stories, the actions which goes all around the world, and it is certainly maintained by journalists which have the intact and the exact information. The next type of blog is company blog. These blogs are created by the companies just to let their customer and client know what is going on in their company. They create blog and they give information about their company so the customers or the client may know about the new products which are coming, their features and their properties. And the last type of blog is microblog. Microblog is a very new type of blog which came up now. It contains very short informations, very few informations, and the most simple example of this microblog we can take it as Twitter. Twitter allows the user to enter only 280 characters in a single entry. Means a single blog of Twitter will contain 280 character, and that blog is termed as a tweet. So we can see we have four kinds of blog: personal blog, news and views, company blogs, and micro blogs. So if a thing is there, if a feature is there, or if a tool is there, that tool certainly has some advantage with it, and certainly it will have some disadvantage with it. So if we see the advantage and disadvantage of blog, we can see कि although it enables us to write our thoughts of our interest, but there is one more thing कि if we write exactly what we feel, it may certainly happen कि some may agree with our thoughts and feelings, and some may not, so some will certainly show their aggression towards our blog. Although blog is quite easy to set up, we do not require technical knowledge for creating a blog, but certainly a number of blogs are available, personal blogs are there, and some blogs may contain accurate information, but some may not contain accurate. It varies from person to person, from blog to blog. Although we see or we say that it is a very easy method to set up a blog, but it is also a time consuming process, and we need to find out or set up a particular time for regularly updating our blogs. It has one more advantage: people can leave comments. Means you write a blog and below the blog you will be seeing comments related to your blog. But there is a disadvantage, and that is ki you may be getting some rude replies also from other bloggers or readers. So certainly if we see advantages, we have some disadvantage in the blog. The next thing is how to create a blog. So it is quite a very simple, easy thing to create a blog. We need to find first, the very first thing is the website which allows us to create the blog. A number of sites are there like Blogger, WordPress, Typepad, etc. are there which allows us to create blogs. So we will here see a website that is blogger.com, and we'll see how to create a blog in blogger.com. So the very first thing we require is open a browser, and in that browser open blogger.com. We will see a window like this, and in this the very first thing we require to do is we need to sign in. We see a sign in button here, we need to sign in. Click on it. So a sign in page will appear. Say for example I sign in through this. You have to sign through your email ID, and this is what your page will look like. So if you need to now create a new post, you click from here, a window appears. This is how the window appears. You can change the styles of the text, create your blog. In this particular area you can type whichever thing you need to type, like suppose my first blog on topic population. You can write whichever you want, and after that you need to click on publish. As you click on publish, and before that you can preview also. You can preview a page, means how your post will look like. So this is how your post will look like. Take at this place your post will be there, your blog will be there, and here the comments will go on. So this is how it goes. So we can go back, and we can publish if we find it is proper. It will ask to confirm it, and your blog is published. So you can see that my blog is published. Just an example, my first blog on topic population, you will be writing the content whichever blog you require to write. And there are a number of more options through which we can work with this blog. If you want to delete the blog, there is a button, you can delete the blog. If you want to make changes to the blog, you can click on the blog. As you click on the blog, same blog appears, and you can make the modification in the blog, whichever you want to make modification, and then you can update. As you update it, your blog will be updated. Say for example, I updated and changes saved, means the blog is updated. So if I need to delete it, simply I'll click on here and it will ask delete post. I'll delete the post. So this is just an example how you can create a blog using blogger.com. You have a number of options here. A number of themes are there. You can click here, you'll be getting a number of themes. How your blog will appear, say for example this one. So your blog appears something like this. So whichever theme you like to use, you can use your theme and you can create your own blog. So this is how we can create a online blog. There are a number of methods through which we can create offline blog also, and later we can publish it. The most common application which we can use to publish or to create a offline blog is Microsoft Word. Simply open Microsoft Word, as I opened here, Microsoft Word, and in Microsoft Word you click on File and click on New. These number of options comes up here. From there you have to click on blog post, click on blog post and click on create. So this screen will open up. We have two options now, register now and register later. Either of those you can select. Either you can register now or you can register later. So I'll click on register later. It is register as a blog account, register later. So what happens, how we have to do, we have to enter the title here. This is the place where you need to enter the title. Say for example, I'll be writing population, and this is the topic, and the bottom part will contain the text which is the part of the blog. The current world and so on. So you can continue with your blog and you can finish up your blog, and after that if you need to publish, you can click on this button, publish button, click on publish and click on publish. So as you click on publish, it will ask to register. You will have to register an account. Click here, register an account. Here you have to choose your blog provider, like say for example Blogger. Click on Blogger and click on next. It will ask for the username and password of Blogger, so you have to enter the username of blogger, password of Blogger and click on OK. So as you do so, your blog which you have created here offline will be posted in blogger.com. So this is how you can create a blog post offline. So we have both method. We can create it directly online, or we can create and save offline blogs, and later when we require we can post it online. Okay, now we are there on the fifth session, that is online transactions. See, this term is also a very common term nowadays at present time. Online transaction. Online transaction simply means that transferring money electronically from one account to other account. Means now we do not require cash. It is cashless. Online transaction of amount. Electronic methods through which the amount is transferred from one account to other account is termed as online transaction. At present time, we used to do online transactions for all the things wherever we require to pay money. Either we are purchasing something in market, we can transfer the amount to the shopkeeper's account directly by scanning their QR codes. using Paytm or Google Wallet or any other process. You can purchase online a number of things like Flipkart, Snapdeal, Amazon or anything, and you can pay online the money. So the transfer of fund goes in a number of steps. The very first step is the cardholder purchases goods. Cardholder means the person who is purchasing the thing is purchasing goods from the merchant, either directly purchasing or through internet, through websites, through application he is purchasing. The second thing which happens is that the merchant's application, the software, sends a payment client digital order. Means he sends a digital order of what the person has purchased, the card holder has purchased. Then the third thing which happens is that the merchant's payment provider directs the request to the cardholder's bank. Means there is a third party which is the payment partner of the merchants. It sends a request to the cardholder, means to the person's bank. It goes online instantly for the debit of amount for which he is purchasing a particular thing. And then the last thing which happens is that the cardholder's bank debits the amount from his account and transfers to the merchant's bank. So this is how the online transaction or e-payment goes. So we can see a number of things are there, a number of places are there where this online transaction or e-payment is done. At present time, the most common thing which we all observe is e-shopping, means shopping online. A number of websites are there available, like you can see currently on the screen. Flipkart is there, Amazon is there, Snapdeal is there, many more applications are there, websites are there which offers digital marketing or digital shop. These are like digital shops from where we can select a number of product and we can purchase online. So if we are doing e-shopping, in e-shopping a number of things are there which is involved. The very first thing which is involved is the item which we need to set. A number of items are there, and from all those items the very first thing we require to do is we need to select the item which we need to purchase. After selecting the product which we are going to purchase, we have to place the order. After placing the order, we need to do the payment, and there are a number of payment mode which we can apply for any product which you are going to place. Say for example, in this Flipkart only a number of things are, say for example this headphone. Click on headphone, a number of headphones will appear, and these are all the headphones. Suppose you need this headphone, click on this, it is selecting. So this is the headphone specifications and all, and you need to click on buy now. So after placing the order, after a number of steps like confirming the address and all, this particular window will open up here from where we can do the online transaction, like you can pay through UPI or wallet or debit card or ATM, net banking. A number of methods are there through which you can pay online. You can get a product at your place. So this is how you can purchase thing online. The next thing is e-ticketing. E-ticketing simply means purchasing tickets online. Either it is a ticket of a train or a ticket of a bus or ticket of a train. You can book ticket online and you can do the payment then and there. The only thing you require to do is you need to first open the website of the particular thing through which you want to travel, and you need to provide the details of your day, time and seating which you want. The website will display a number of options available for that particular day or the seating, and whichever seating or the day available you want, you can select it. After selecting, you need to confirm with your details like your name, age, gender, and the other person who are traveling with you. And then at last, you need to do the payment. Same thing is, you can do payment through e-wallets, you can do payment through UPI, you can do payment through ATM or credit card. And finally, you can get the ticket. You will get a confirmation message on your email also, with a SMS also, and you can even print the ticket and you can travel. The advantage of getting e-ticket is, like, we do not have to stand in line for hours to wait for our chance. It is quite safe also. You do not require to give details to somebody else to purchase the ticket. You yourself can purchase the ticket, and it's quite fast. You do not require to, like I said, stand in line for hours and hours. So you sit at your place, you book the ticket, and you get it easily. Okay, now we will start the sixth session, and that is internet security. See, as internet has given us the freedom to access information, to use a number of possibilities to get information, to use the resources, it also has some disadvantages also, some threats also, so through which our informations can be hacked and tried. So we have to set some security measures, we have to set some security parameters to safeguard ourselves from all these. The very important thing which we have is our passwords. A number of accounts we have online, and all those accounts are accessed through passwords. So very first thing we need to do is we need to set these passwords very perfectly so that nobody can guess it or nobody can crack it. So the very first thing we need to do is we need to use the passwords properly. We have to keep our password strong, means the password should have the letters, the numbers, the special symbols arranged in such a way so that it is not guessed or hacked by anybody. The password or the strong password, it helps to keep our personal information safe on internet. It also protects our emails and other contents, and it helps to remove or stop somebody from stealing our personal informations. There are a number of ways in which the passwords can be hacked. The very first method is through guessing the password. Somebody is there who is behind you and he may guess a password for your account. The second method is the other person can systematically check all the possible combinations of words which is related to you and he may guess your password. The third method is a number of hackers are there who hack the websites, and those websites contain the crucial information about users like username and password. So all these three ways are there through which the passwords can be hacked. So to avoid all these three scenarios, to safeguard your passwords, we have to select a good and strong password. And for selecting good and strong password, we have to follow some steps. So the very first thing is, uh, do not use any word from dictionary or a proper noun or a foreign verse or your name or somebody else's name. Do not use a word like a name in your password. The password should also not have your personal information, because a person can guess a personal information. The password should contain a larger number of digits, means it should be a long password. You should use paraphrase to remember complex passwords. On different websites and on different accounts, try to use different passwords. Do not use the same password for all the accounts and all the website. So if you use all these techniques and methods, your password certainly can become a strong password, and you can be staying back away from all these hackings of passwords. See, the thing which we require when we work on internet is we require the information to be very secure. And if we require information to be very secure, or personal information, we need to certainly follow a number of steps. Our information, personal information, means the username, the password, the details of cards, credit card, debit card we use for online transactions. All these are very confidential informations, and we do not want these confidential information to be in the hands of somebody else who may misuse it. So a number of things are there, a number of practices are there which we can do possibly to safeguard ourselves from unauthorized persons to access our personal detail. The very first thing we can do is we can use firewall wherever and whenever possible. The firewall will ensure only the authentic connections to your computer. So every time you work with your computer, connect to internet, your firewall should be activated. This firewall program will monitor all the communications which comes to your computer, and it will block all the unauthorized communications which may affect in stealing of your personal information. The next thing we can do is we can control the browser setting to block tracking. See, what we know is that the browsers which we use to surf internet, these browsers have almost all the informations which we search on internet, like the thing which we search, all the profiles which we access, the data which we enter. So what we can do is we can turn off the default setting of browsers to stop saving these informations, and they may not be accessed by some unauthorized users, so that our informations may leak up. The next thing is what we can do is we can see what we can do is we can use browsers to access the information. What happens is cookies are formed, and because of these cookies all the websites get the information about the things which we search or the actions which we do on a browser. So what we can do is we can browse internet privately. A private window we can open in the browser, and we can access, and doing so no cookies are saved. And when these no cookies will be saved, then the other websites will never come to know about our informations, what we are searching or what we are entering. The next thing we can do is when post on internet, we have to be very sure what we are posting online. We should never post our personal informations online, like our name, address, phone number, card detail, bank detail, or any other detail online, because if these things are posted online, certainly these things will be used against us. The next thing which we can do is we can only surf on the websites which are safe. See, when we browse on internet, websites are there. When we open websites, we can see on the name of the website, like this lock is here. At this place it says whether the website is safe or not safe, like here. If the website is not safe, it will show here that the website is not safe. So if it is not safe, it will show a mark, and that mark will certainly show it's not safe. And if it is not safe, never ever open a website which is not safe, and do not enter any crucial information on those websites. The next thing what we can do is, when we access our emails, open only those emails which is authenticated. Means if you know the sender, then only you open the email. Otherwise that email may be from some hackers or some problematic person which may contain virus or some other thing, and we may lose information. The next thing is कि whenever you are connected to a Wi-Fi, means a wireless network, then also you do not give your sensitive information, your personal details over it. And the last thing is कि always avoid public computers to enter your personal details like browsing or purchasing other thing. Never ever use that or do that. When you do all these things, then your information certainly will be saved. The thing which we can do online to increase the safety on our computer is, we can use antivirus and anti-spyware software so that it detects the viruses which comes up and which may harm and which may steal our personal informations. You have to download the updates regularly for these antivirus applications. And not only we have to use these antivirus applications, but we have to run the system scan, that is full system scans regularly, so that it may detect for the viruses. The next thing which we can do is, as a preventive measure, is to keep our system up to date. The very first thing is, like I said, keep your system up to date, regularly update your system so that it removes the viruses, it gets the update about the viruses so that our system may be free from these viruses. When we download a content from internet, we have to be very sure about downloading. A number of websites are there which ask to sign in using your password details, so be very careful while signing in. And lastly, what we can do is, we can disable cookies. See, when these cookies are saved, through these cookies only the data may be transferred to other websites and they may steal our informations. So these are some of the possibilities and some of the measures which we can take in order to safeguard our personal details from other users. So bye for now.